Hi everybody, and welcome to this session of Crow's Nest Gardens. I'm Tom, and I wanted to talk to you today about butternut squash and how we can take and save the seeds from these butternut squash for this coming year's new crop. Okay? Butternut squash has long since been a winter crop that you can grow it in the fall, and the fruit that we have here, well, it's usually stored for anywhere from 3 to 6 months. We use it to make butternut squash soup, different casseroles. It's really, really nice. Today we want to talk about how to get the seeds so that you can preserve them, store them, and really get selective seeds for your crop for the spring of 2020. What I'm going to do is I want to show you how I've taken one of the other butternut squash and scooped out the seeds, and want to go through how to take them out, how to separate them, and to store them. Okay? So when you start to open up the butternut squash, you want to take and turn it upright and then just cut it down the lengthwise, so that you can scoop out the seeds. You'll see that I've got the seeds scooped out from some that we did earlier this weekend, and there's a number of seeds, literally hundreds of seeds. But within those seeds, you see the orangey flesh. Here's where I've pulled those flesh away so that I can start the collection process and drying. Over here, I want you to see what I did with the separation of the seeds. You can see here that what I'm doing to show you is here in these seeds, these are large, plump, very nice. You'll see how these are sunken. They don't seem to have as much maturity as they are. These seeds won't do very well at all, if any. They probably won't even germinate. So you want to be able to take, and these are the seeds we want. So what I do is I start out by separating out the seeds. I will take and use a regular kitchen knife, and of course all the seeds are on this paper towel to help start to absorb some of the moisture. But I'm just going to separate out a few to show you here that when you separate them, you try to get away the pulp as much as you can. And you get in here and get a couple more. Now what I do is I move them over into a pile. And you can see that the pile has a number of different sizes, different colors. You notice that the tan versus the darker tan versus the light tan here. This is a mature good seed. This is a seed that's not going to be any good. Here are some good ones that I've set off to the side. And you'll notice that when you touch them, that they're sticky. You notice how they all stick together? By separating them out, the next step is that you want to start to rinse them off. Now when it comes to actually being able to rinse these and try to get off the stickiness, what I do is I take, and I've got some of these seeds right here, and I'm just going to take and put them in the water. And as you see, they float, and they seem to be doing very well. Once the seeds have gotten in the water and have been in the water for a while, I use a fork. And I simply take and stir them around just a little bit. Then I can take the fork and actually lift them out of the water and set them onto the paper towel so they can dry off. And you just keep doing that until you get all the ones out that you have in that group. And then you can do some more. The thing is just take your time. One of the things that's important to remember is that these seeds, they're not really delicate, but at the same time, they won't take a lot of abuse. So by taking the time to be careful with them when you're doing this, that will actually make it so that you have a really good seed for planting. number one, something to remember, and you'll notice it here, do not use hot water to rinse them off. And do not use any soap with that water. Just use tap water, rinse them off, and then I put them into a plastic container. This happens to be a dip container that I've cleaned up. I use a paper towel inside, and then I'm going to store them inside of that when I'm done, and let them start to dry in the refrigerator. I'll sort of stir them for a day before I put them in the fridge, just so they get dry. So when I put them in. Now, in the top, one of the things you want to remember and to do is you take a slit, take a knife, pen knife, whatever, and make a small slit in the top. What that does is allow for the ventilation and air to escape that may be moisture-laden air. Okay? So by doing that, now we can put these in the refrigerator. They'll store, and we can hold on to them until, time in May and June to start to plant. I will take in April and take a few, maybe 10 of these seeds, put them in a paper towel or in a tray, and grow them, try to get them to germinate. I want to see what the percentage is of germination for them. Again, this is an easy thing to do, to have seeds for yourself and for friends, or to have the kids play with getting used to gardening and learning how to not just run to the store and buy seeds, but you can also use the seeds that we already have that we're growing when we grow the fruit. And keep in mind that a butternut squash is a fruit. It's a winter fruit that is really is good. It tastes really good, and they preserve. This particular butternut squash was, I guess, back in October is when we harvested them, because the vines had gone and died. It is now the end of January, and we just had some soup the other night that was really, really good from that. And, we'll have the seeds. All you have to do is have one or two really good plants that produce a really good butternut squash, yellow squash, even not so much cucumbers now, because the cucumbers are becoming more and more sterile specific and don't produce a lot of seeds other than your heirloom varieties. But in your butternut squash, it's really good, and it really works well. So, other than that, just something that I want you all to think about is that our slogan for 2020 is we're going to work on improving your garden one row at a time. And that's really what it is, folks. We're going to take our time, and we're going to talk about different things in the garden and how we can improve and produce really good fruit, so that you can have great vegetables and fruit for your garden, for your kitchen, and for the family. Okay. Well, I hope you've learned a little bit about how to collect the seeds for butternut squash, and it's really neat to be able to do this. You've grown something, you've got the seeds from it. Now you can start another season with seeds that you have produced yourself, not something that you had to buy. Okay? And one of the things we want to leave you with is that we want to be able to help you improve your garden one row at a time. Thanks a lot. If you enjoyed this, give me a like, and we'll have other videos like this. Subscribe to us, and you'll know ahead of time when a new video is on the way. Thanks, and have a great day.